South Wales Fire Brigades is probably the fourth or fifth largest urban fire service in the world. About 12,000 people when we count our 6,000 volunteers, 340 fire stations throughout the state. We have a fleet of about 800 vehicles, so it's a very big business, and we do lots of different things. Distinguished guests, fellow firefighters, ladies and gentlemen, welcome here today to celebrate the graduation.
Every fire station throughout New South Wales is a small team. Like a footy team or a soccer team, it requires a leader, and our station commanders are the leaders within that environment.
A station officer, or we call them SAs, what we do is we manage the station on a day-to-day basis. We're the link between management, that's the inspectors and the zone commanders, and we'll talk to get the information from them and pass it down the chain to the firemen.
As you start to expand that environment to a larger capacity, we have our inspectors that look after approximately 8 to 10 stations, and then above that is the superintendent, and so it goes through the hierarchical structure.
My expectations of a leader in the New South Wales Fire Brigade, the four main things: they need to be trustworthy and ethical in everything they do. They need to be competent in what they're doing and keep abreast of technical developments. They need to be good listeners so that they can engage with their people, and they need to be approachable and good communicators. So if they have those four things, the rest falls into place.
Leadership to me is talking the talk and walking the walk. It's about empowerment, empowering the staff to grow and achieve great results. And it's about inclusion, including people in the decision-making process when you can.
Currently have active fire, level 1, level 2. In my role as an SO, I'm responsible for 3 different types of leadership. That is leader at the front line, at an emergency, the team coach around the station, and also linking in with upper management and linking the firefighters below as well.
As far as I'm concerned, people's perceptions of trust, integrity and ethics are essential in leadership. People won't be led by people that they don't trust.
This is the total staffing for my zone. As I said before, we're broken into the 4 platoons, A, B, C, so it's important that I know that I have people at each station at any given time and who that person is. The difference between leadership and management, a good definition is management is doing things right and leadership is doing the right things. It's an intangible leadership, it's how you react, it's how you behave. Management is making sure that people get paid on time and we have people riding fire trucks at the right time when they have to be. You're going to be a good leader or a strong leader. You're never off duty. You only ever have one chance for a first impression. You have to be that person that you talk about all the time. So when it comes time to walk the walk, and be that with expert knowledge or be that with discipline or self-discipline, there's no room for failure. You can never be compromised as a leader. And once you are compromised, well, I believe you could never be a good leader again.
Putting leadership into practice, of course, is the nub of the problem. Our corporate plan lays out a vision for the service. It's excellence in emergency risk management, so it's broader than just responding to emergencies. It's trying to prevent them in the first place, which is a bit of a mind shift. How do we get the leadership to inspire people towards that vision? It's a case of communicating well, getting consistent messages across in a meaningful way to different types of people is a real management challenge.
The leader might have a certain interpretation of what he sees, but we need to be able to interpret that in the same way. Once we have a clear understanding of what that vision is, being able to demonstrate it to those people around us and ensuring that they understand it.
That's about setting a vision and communicating that to people in a way that they can understand and put into practice so that they know where they fit and they're inspired by it. there is contained, as you can see, one tank that contains several million litres of ethanol. When I was first appointed as Commissioner, I was very much focused on the fact that I don't have all the answers, and I needed to talk to the people on the ground, the men and women who were backing up the firefighters, fixing up the fire trucks, and the firefighters themselves. So it was very important to me to go to all the workplaces, the administrative offices, the workshops, the fire stations, and ask people what did they want from me. The feedback I received from the staff was that they felt that I was open and communicative and that I would listen. Since becoming Commissioner, there was some suspicion by some leaders why I was talking to the troops. Now I see them out there talking to the troops themselves, and that's culture change.
The leadership training that we apply to the wide range of people we deliver to is based on giving them a clear understanding of the various leadership styles and enabling them to determine which leadership style is going to be most effective for them.
Active fire, second level, fire floor below balcony. My personal leadership approach is to treat everyone with respect, because I reckon that if you treat everyone with respect, they're going to give it back to you. I've had leaders that have talked down to you and taken their authority for granted and really pushed it on you, and I really hate that. And as far as I'm concerned, if I can get people to work with me rather than against me, then that'll be the way to go.
Individuals have various characteristics, and it'd be unrealistic for people to say, well, look, I'm going to change myself to be a particular type of leader. You've got to work with the characteristics you hold and develop them to a point where people accept them and people are willing to follow.
Well, the different models of leadership over the years, including trait theory, I believe there are traits that people look for in leaders. However, theory's moved on. Transformational, transactional leadership, I believe in certain situations a transformational leader needs to be transactional. So there's a bit of every theory comes in. People do need some charisma, but then research will say that you don't necessarily have to like a leader to respect them. In the fire service, situational leadership's a big issue. I mean, at a major factory fire, we're not going to have a committee meeting to decide what to do. There needs to be a commander who's competent, knows what he or she is doing, and they order people what to do, and people comply. However, in the management context, I have a leadership team. When we talk about restructuring the organisation or budget issues, we're very democratic, and we talk the issues through and listen to everybody's point of view. But at the end of the day, somebody needs to make a decision and move that to action.